My name is Jared Collings. I'm with the TGA, and I'm here at the TGA show out in Vegas and the Travel Goods Association show. And I'm here with Kevin and his brother Brian O'Donnell, and they have a great thing that we're going to showcase today. This cool bag, but I just want to get to know you guys too, and this cool product and what you guys stand for. So. But first off, I'm just had this thought, like, who's the older brother? And you can make me guess if you want, because I was gonna guess. So, but I was gonna guess you're the older. Okay.
That's okay.
And how many kids are in your family?
Total, 3 of us.
And do you have a sister or another
A
brother?
sister.
So you did get lucky.
So
with
sister in the middle.
Yeah. She's right in the middle. So you're the youngest. You're the baby. Does your mom?
He's the baby. He's
Does
4
your mom
years
introduce
younger.
you as that? Because I'm the youngest in my family.
Baby forever.
Yeah. And I'm like, Mom, I'm not a baby anymore. Like when I'm a teenager. So.
But he calls himself the favorite son. So
You're the favorite son. Okay. Is it true-ish?
We were on the phone yesterday. Like, bro, Mom wants to talk to you. I'm like, hey, here's your number 2 son.
Yeah. Number 2.
We joke about it.
Yeah. I think that was at the party last night, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Mom's on the phone. I'm like, hey, that's so cool. You guys are like tight-knit family and stuff like that, right? And we were talking just a second ago. Your last name is O'Donnell, and I was like, where's that from? Oh, Sinead O'Connor. So I guess all those O names, like with the apostrophe, that's Irish.
Typically Irish.
Okay. Yeah. And you guys have been there, were you born there?
Grandma and Grandpa's on both sides were born in Ireland.
Okay.
And then they met here, and then Mom and Dad.
Yeah, but we've been back 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
Okay.
We did a trip like 4 years ago with the whole family.
Yeah.
And I think 12 of us, we had 12 of us there. But Dad, who was 78 at the time, my nephew Corey, one of the younger ones, our nieces, Brian and I, we're all ripping on Modobags, so we're cruising to the Dublin airport like Sons of Anarchy, and we've got 8 Modobags zipping through the airport.
Take them into the Blue Angels formation. You got 1, 2, and 3 on the back.
Have you guys coordinated that? Like motorcycle cops and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
You always want to be second or third. You never want to be like the front bag. The front bag gets the first. What is that? And then the comments are on the second, third bag, and that's when they stop you.
Yeah,
it's like, oh my God, what is that?
For 10 minutes questions, and
so you want to be in the middle of the pack.
It's more fun.
So you hear all the fun comments.
Exactly.
And then you don't have to answer all the questions that you get all the same time over and over again. So, and you guys have like a good enough sign on there. People can like go to your website and stuff and figure it out.
We have all our hashtags are just Modobag. M-O-D-O-B-A-G.
So people are like, "Ooh, what was that?" They just went by.
Right.
Well, cool. So this is like the craziest thing I've seen. So I remember flipping through the TGA magazine. I'm like, are you serious? Like that's like legit, and I was like, I didn't think I'd have an opportunity to ride it. So this is fun that you guys
You're
came.
You're gonna get some good seat time.
And I mean, I've already got some really good seat time, and I've sent a ton of videos back to my family, that aren't here yet. They'll be here tomorrow, so maybe tomorrow morning they'll come over to your racetrack that you guys have set up here.
It's usually the hit of the show as far as being able to actually get hands on, and it's ultimately people get on it and everybody gets a smile on their face, and it's like kid in a candy store. Oh, this is a new toy.
Yeah.
But it's functional. I mean, it gets you from point A to point B, and it's got a lot of appeal.
Yeah. So what's your guys' background? Did you guys travel a lot as kids,
we both? Dad had a hardware store that he bought into in the late '60s. Hermitage Hardware down in Chicago, Lincoln Park. Little hardware store that he expanded over the years, but in lieu of babysitters, we all started stocking shelves at 5 or 6, right?
Yeah. Stacking shelves, cutting keys.
So by
just
the time
learning hands-on like Mr. Fix-Its.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
okay.
So by the time we're 10 or 12, we could do some plumbing and electrical and whatever else, cut glass. And
you got to change a hot water tank. It's like, okay, no big deal.
Okay.
Done that.
Okay. So, and just that was it. Did you guys think one day this is gonna be my hardware store, or?
Yeah.
Brian continued with that. I went off into some other things.
Okay.
And we're back in Modobag together again.
Okay.
We did a lot of .com stuff together in the mid '90s when Chicago gave Home Depot like a $20 million grant to create jobs and the rest of it, and built out this huge Home Depot 4 blocks from us.
And they bring in all the big boxes, Boys came to us at that point and said, whatever you get really good at, because they'll take 20% of your business in the first 30 days. And we just happened to launch we were already in the barbecue grill business, selling Weber grills, and it was kind of just
natural transition.
We jumped into Weber. We actually took WeberGrills.com, 14 versions of, and then Kevin took LeathermanTool.com,
all the .coms,
Outdoors.com, and we launched all these .coms back.
Went right into e-commerce to offset what our potential losses was
really?
going to be.
And so you took their names, and so you were able to sell it to them.
We were representative.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, we
were an authorized dealer.
Legitimate right, use and interest in the name, which later all the chaos came. But he blew that up into a multi-million-dollar online distribution business, sending Weber grills all over the world.
38 countries, every state in the U.S. We do about 14,000 online orders a year. People would go to WeberGrills.com or call us at 888-GO-WEBER, and we'd grab the number before FedEx had Go FedEx. It was just, we were super early in the whole process. And then we launched the Leatherman Tool site, and we even launched a baby stroller site because at that point we were just starting to have kids.
Yeah.
And my mom came home one day with this high-end stroller. It was like $300, and she said, "You have to become a distributor for these so we can buy these wholesale." I'm like, "Mom, baby strollers." She's like, "See if you can get 2 or 3 of these. We're going to need them." So I called up the company and I said, "I'd like to sell baby strollers." And they said, "You're an Ace Hardware store?" And I said, "Yeah." They said, "We don't sell hardware stores." I said, "Believe me." He said, "We'll move a lot of product." I said, "There's a lot of families down here." And shortly after that, I actually took CombiStrollers.com. They didn't have it. And
Economy strollers?
Combi, C-O-M-B-I.
Okay.
It's a Japanese brand.
Oh, okay.
High-end, lightweight strollers. And within a year, we're doing $250,000 a year in baby strollers out of a hardware store.
That's so funny.
We morphed the business,
Where was this hardware store? Lincoln Park?
It's still here.
It's still there.
Lincoln Park. We still have it.
Although it went from 4 buildings and 3 levels to now it's just down to a smaller,
we went from
smaller
12,000
storefront.
square feet down to about 700 square feet.
Okay.
Because my dad's like, you don't need 26 employees and you don't need all this expensive real estate. So let's give us the storefronts back. Let me lease this
those
out. You guys keep the store as your, the base, the small store.
You still have it?
Oh yeah.
Is it for this? Or no? It's still the hardware store.
It's still an Ace Hardware store.
Ace.
Yeah.
Ace is the place. Okay.
We're diversified.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I would have not.
So we do hardware. We do a lot of real estate.
Okay.
A lot of commercial and residential that we own because of the store allowed us to build this real estate portfolio.
Okay.
And then Modobag.
You were about to say empire, but then
We're not there yet.
Scale it back. Scale it back.
Portfolio.
Humble.
So did you guys travel a lot? Like what what clicked in your brain to make something that was like this?
So it's kind of funny where things come from.
We didn't travel out when we were kids. I mean, the travel a lot was
you were slaves.
Tiny's
we drove
lake house up in Wisconsin. Or we're going to drive around Lake Michigan. We didn't do a lot of big family trips. We go to Florida, stuff like that. Our kids, on the other hand, as we got older, and then I had kids, and my sister did, and my parents would take. The kids have been all over the world. I mean, they try. I mean, literally, it's nothing. Let's go to Dubai, or let's go to South Africa, or let's go to the.
That's what you're doing.
That's what my parents would take.
Mom and dad.
Grandkids.
The grandkids on.
Without you guys.
A lot of times. Sometimes with us, but usually they would take the kids. There's 6 of them all together. They would take them in pairs.
So 2 of them every year would go, and they could pick any place in the world they wanted to go visit with Grandma and Grandpa.
So that was great. So
Galapagos, Russia,
all over.
Alaska.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So, have you since been invited? Like, can you go with them now, or?
Yeah, I mean, we've done a lot of family trips with them.
Family
trips where everybody goes.
Okay. What's your favorite place? Like.
Oh my God, probably Italy, Estonia.
Okay.
Hawaii.
You
he goes to Mexico a lot.
I got married in Mexico last year, so.
Okay.
So it was 5 trips before finding the right venue.
Okay.
My friends joke that I should have citizenship there by this point. So it's
And the Galapagos, is that as cool as
I haven't been.
They took 2 of the grandkids.
Son.
One of them is a marine biologist.
Now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now. And the other is sports boy, so he's worked
sports
for
marketing.
Some of the MLB teams.
But you didn't still haven't been.
Galapagos with Grandma and Grandpa and my
the
nephew.
kids got to see the giant turtles and the
tortoises, whatever. I forget crazy. What else is there. There's
blue-footed boobies.
Okay.
The birds.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how with all the traveling? Yeah.
Well, this came up. So I went to a Fat Joe Bruno Mars concert, and it was actually Brian was with me, and in between the sets there was this little family of breakdancers. So they were the halftime show before the next set came up. And I had a friend who, big fan of Bruno, and wanted, a CD signed. So I approached, the security guy to go backstage at one point, and I dropped a couple names. He's like, nobody's going back. So when the family came out after the concert wrapped up, the father was there, Henry, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, any chance, you give me an autograph, from Bruno? And I had a Sharpie and everything written down ready. He's like, sure, no problem. Kids, wait here. So I'm, standing and talking to the kids for probably like 15, 20 minutes. Super well-mannered, really nice, just good group of kids. And Dad comes out, and I thank him. I hand him my card. I owned an Irish pub at the time. And I had given my card to the kids and told them they can pick a night to take Mom and Dad out for dinner, and it'll all be taken care of. So I gave Dad the same card. I'm like, hey, look, I got a great pub, like 10 minutes away. So, you and the kids, wife, girlfriend, whatever. He's like, no, I'm married, bro. I'm like, come in for dinner. I got you styled out. Fast forward 3 days. On Saturday, I get a call from my door guy, Dino, and he's like, yo, Kev, your breakdancers are here. And I go out to meet them, and they're all in their little Adidas stuff with their gear, all styled out. And there's Mom and Dad, and then 5 kids from... at that point, or 6 kids from
3 to 13.
3 to 13, 14 years old, and it's the whole.
Are they
family.
brothers and sisters?
All brothers and sisters,
and they're all break dancers.
Yep, and they all perform together.
Oh wow!
The littlest one, Olivia, wasn't performing yet.
Okay.
Very quiet. Now she's like opening for Snoop Dogg, and she DJ Diesel and. So she's doing all kinds of stuff.
DJs for the Kardashians. And
Mayweather. They're doing all kinds of great things. Okay. But anyways, so had them come in, did dinner, desserts, took care of everybody, and I'm hearing the backstory from Dad. The previous year they were homeless, and Catholic Charities got them off the streets and put them into a house in Berwyn so the kids could have a stable environment with regular school and everything. They were living in their car at some points. Pretty like heart-wrenching story, right?
Like in the van in front of Grandma and Grandpa's house because they wouldn't let them stay in the house.
So they just used the bath. Just crazy stories.
Whoa.
But anyways, so he's like, hey, the night when we're talking more and more, and he's like, we really want to try out for this Paula Abdul show, but they're only doing auditions in L.A. and New York. And, we just need airfare, to get out there. Everything else covered. I'm like,
they came to your pub.
And we're at the pub having dinner.
Just talking.
We're just talking and learning more.
They were homeless at this point still?
No. They had Catholic Charities had just got them into a stable house in Berwyn and the rest of it.
Oh, but serious.
Recently.
Oh, my gosh.
And anyways, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, well, here. I'm like, we got all the details. I'm like, let's talk on Monday. Maybe we do a fundraiser here or something. We'll figure out what we need to do to raise money for airfare. Night goes on, it's about like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and Henry's like, hey, the kids, they want to perform. I'm like, no way. I'm like,
At your pub?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't, I didn't have you guys come in here to have the kids go to work, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I'm like, absolutely not. I'm like, what you did was more than enough for me, really kind. I'm like, this is my intern, right? And then a couple minutes later, little E-Fresh comes over, he's like, yo, Kev, we want to throw down. Couldn't say no, right?
Yeah.
So at the pub, we would have a DJ on Saturdays. So DJ set up, they picked their song sets, we cleared out some tables in the front, and they started their performance. It was just insane. The bar was going nuts. People are looking in the windows, the upper balcony's filled, it's just packed out, and everybody's going crazy.
Oh, so this is a big pub. It's like...
It's good, it's about 4,000 and a little more square feet, so it's a decent-sized pub, but...
There's a balcony that goes around.
There's a balcony on the main
like an
bar,
old saloon kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. It's all like brick and old like 1940s Brunswick bar. And
okay,
it's cool. But towards the end of their set, to wrap it up, and Spinderella has the world's record for the world's longest head spin at like 13 minutes, spinning on her head. Anyways, she's spinning on her head, and this is when she's just a kid. And
she was the oldest daughter.
Yeah, she was the oldest daughter. Dad grabs his flip phone and just slides it across the floor, and whoop, she swoops it up. So she's spinning.
While she's on her head?
She's spinning.
And this light's going round and round, right? And like,
she grabbed her phone,
And then Henry smacks me, and he's like, yo, bro, what's wrong with you? Don't you answer your phone? I pull out my phone and it says Henry Breakdancers. I answer, it's like, hey Kev, this is Spin. I just want to tell you dinner was great. The desserts were the best we ever had.
She's spinning on
Thank
her
you
head.
so much. And she's spinning on her head in front of me.
Arms out, legs up.
Yeah, the one arm out. And then the phone comes sliding across the floor again, right to Henry's feet. And I look at him, I'm like, Henry, call me on Monday. I'll book your tickets. You guys are going. That was it. Closed the deal. So fast forward, they flew out on a Wednesday. I talked to him that night. Supposedly Paul Abdul was taking care of all the accommodations and everything. Not the case. Didn't sound right. I'm like, Henry, I'm flying out tomorrow. I fly out. I take a cab over, and they're in this it's like out of a movie, the Fleabag Hotel, with like the dealers and I'm thinking they're gonna have bed bugs and never be able to do their audition. So we, got a real nice hotel on the Hudson overlooking Manhattan. Checked in there, and then
you get them into the lobby.
Well, yeah, we got them in. We were using the lobby for our choreography, and they needed, they had no formal professional training, but for the auditions they needed to have a layout for the sets for the cameramen and what's happening. So now all of a sudden I'm doing choreography, figuring it out, the best way possible. Google, like, how do I lay this stuff out? But we had a really adventurous weekend. The kids took me to a breakdance battle in the Bronx, and I start like this, clapping, and again, little Eve, she's like, yo, bro, it's this, fire, no golf claps, And anyways, they ended up. They qualified for the second round, and they qualified to get into the finals in LA, which they flew them out a couple times. And all right, so back to the story of this. So we're leaving.
So how did breakdancing?
3 days, 4 days later, when we're wrapping up, we're going through JFK. We had transfer gates again, and I got Turbo, who's the middle brother, and E-Fresh, who's the youngest, and I'm pulling two carry-ons, and they're on them. And then I got a backpack, and we finally get to our next gate. And I'm like, that's it. We're going to put motors in these. Fast forward a few years, E-Fresh never let me forget. Him and Turbo would be like, yo, Godfather, when are we putting motors in these?
Oh, my gosh.
And so then a few years later, I grabbed my buddy Boyd, who's had just won the Daytona 200 for Triumph Motorcycles. And him and I had gone through industrial design and stuff together at UIC. And we started the journey. Thought we'd be ready in 6 months, and it was a couple of years to finally get a real viable working unit and something to go into production with.
So how long ago was this? Did I
8 years ago.
We went into
9 years ago from the start, and then they kept reminding me, and then we finally got into. We started shipping.
We started in 14, and 17 went to patent. In 18, we were invited to Bangkok, Thailand, to talk about our battery system because it's lithium titanium. It's not lithium ion. There's no carbon. It's not, basically it's explosion-proof battery, right?
Yeah.
An explosion-proof?
We had
I can fire nails through that battery right now and nothing.
Yeah.
You fire nails through your phone, it would
be
accelerate.
It'd be a fireball.
So
I didn't know
they
that.
loved the battery. They actually had Kevin and Boyd fly out.
They looked at our claims first on the website and were like, well, you really, you can't say that. I'm like, oh, no, it's real. Because, again, it's a lithium titanium nanocrystal battery, and there's no thermal runaway on it. It's super safe. It's 6 times more expensive than a traditional battery, but it's amazing. So they flew us out, and we tested with Tom out at the Hughes testing facility, which is the FAA's monster testing facility for all different types of materials.
Oh, wow.
And we were in the lab trying to blow it up to the new battery standards and cooking it to 500 C. And sure enough, the battery did not go into thermal runaway, and it didn't explode.
What's thermal runway? Sorry.
Thermal runaway is when, so when you hear about all
a pack of firecrackers.
Okay. It just starts off boom, 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 because there's a bunch of different cells in the battery.
The different cells, and if you damage the traditional cells, that one starts to default, right? And all of a sudden it starts overheating, and it continues to overheat, and then it catches the next cell. And then you're into thermal runaway is the term, which means that it just turns into that crazy fireball. That's a huge concern. Anyways, these batteries won't do that. So
so it's crazy because you guys are now battery experts.
Oh gosh, yeah.
We're the only smart luggage that uses a lithium titanium battery.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was our biggest safety.
Lithium
iron. Okay.
Yeah. Safety was always our number one thing. So
was it scary? Were you nervous?
Yeah.
I mean, you're dealing with the airports and federal regulations, right? I would be like, dude, we're gonna get shut down.
Well, the first time they saw us, riding through some of the airports, they're like, "What the hell is that?"
We still get that. That's real.
Yeah. And so you've been going 7 years strong, and nobody's like said you can't do this. You know, like
we've had like.
You get a security guy once in a while.
Once in a while, it'll be like, well, you know what? I don't recognize it, but then they could be going through TSA. Like on the way here, they had a new TSA agent, and you know, you pop the battery out, you put it with your electronics when you cruise through. Anyways, but the X-ray comes up, and you see like a little motor, you see some wires, like.
Yeah.
Anyways, so one of the guys on this last trip leaving Chicago. Is looking at it, and the other guy comes and says, "Oh yeah, Modobag. Yeah, they ride these. Da da da. Checked it out. Showed them everything.
Okay.
And then we zipped through, and then they watched us right away. And we're like, yeah.
So as it gets bigger, it'll be easier.
Yeah.
It already has. Not be like confused.
It already has because it's become like recognizable, at least in the ones that we frequent. So.
Okay. My wife said she saw one. Do you guys make other colors? It was pink. So is that somebody else?
You know what? There's another one out there called Airwheel, and it's like a 3-wheel.
Oh,
not
that's
really stable. I don't know if it's. I don't think
it's different though. Instead of ours being like horizontal, theirs is vertical. So when you sit on it, your
higher off the
balance
ground.
is different. So when you turn, you can flip the thing.
A lot easier.
It's not as responsive. I can turn this on a dime.
Yeah.
You can't do that with their battery.
And I don't think they have fully removable battery technology. We haven't hammered on them.
Okay.
We're not. We're good guys. Like whatever will happen, it'll happen. But anyways, it's another company. They came out after us, obviously.
Okay. So, so yes, show me the features, like, and how heavy is this? That was one question my wife was just like, it's got to be heavy, right?
Yeah, it's 20 pounds with battery and everything in it.
Okay.
You have USB ports on the top, and then we give you a whip with 3 different chargers, so you can do Android, Apple, whatnot.
Wait, you can charge it with different chargers?
So,
like
an
iPhone
your USB,
charger?
you can charge anything you want.
Oh, you can charge your cell phone the opposite way.
phone,
Use that battery.
So it's got
your
USB
tablet.
there, and then it's got a 3 spider. So with 3 different connectors.
Okay.
So you plug in the cable.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
And we send you a shorty, so you can kind of use this as your phone holster, tablet, and then here you can just pop in your laptop.
Okay.
And you can charge as you ride.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
You go, so you're never looking for a seat. You're never running out of power.
Yeah.
You're not going to be late, because you get there. Pretty
make
good
up
clip.
any lost time. That's for sure.
and you're going to be smiling. I mean, it's fun.
And if you like attention, then you'll definitely
you'll definitely get a lot.
The eyes go.
A lot of people talk.
As you drive through. It's like, hey, what is it?
Yeah, it's crazy. So, how does this work?
So you have your deployable foot pegs.
Okay.
We're in ride mode right now. So here's your throttle. And then you have your brakes right here, just like you would on a bicycle or a motorcycle.
Okay. Does it only power one wheel? Because you were able to.
It is only
the
power
right
one
side.
wheel. It's one drive wheel.
Okay.
Because
I noticed you were able to do that, and it didn't even jerk forward.
Yeah, just pop her up. When you're ready when you go through security, all you do is you pop out your battery. Super simple.
Oh.
And you can throw it in your backpack. You can actually put it in the bag. When you go through TSA, you just put it with your electronics. Once you get through TSA, you just pop it back in, and you're ready
Oh my
to
gosh!
go.
And it stayed on because of that.
I love
Okay,
that.
but still.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then as far as your luggage and your stowage, you have roughly 85% of what you would have in a traditional carry-on bag.
Okay. And
So you got a good amount of space.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's people are surprised when they see how much space there actually is because
So this with a backpack, is that what you usually travel with?
That's a weekend bag.
Yeah.
This
would be a good weekend bag.
Oh sure,
Yeah.
2-3 days.
But if you're going like a week or something like
Then
here,
we'll check a bag,
did you guys bring a
We'll
backpack
take
as
We
well?
bring a backpack all the time.
Okay.
but-
Or a 360 spinner. With the spinner wheels, and you can actually, there's D-rings on the back.
Yeah,
you can just put a clip around, and you can hook your bag.
You just
to the
clip your
back of this.
360 and you can
Wait, you have another piece that you can add to this?
It's not ours, use
You
anybody's.
can take any 360
You just put
spinner.
some,
and
Okay.
put some
it'll
bungee
train
cords
behind
on
the
it,
bag.
clips, and you're good to
It'll
go.
just follow you.
So it's right here.
It's
Your
like a
little train.
trailer.
It's like your little trailer.
Yeah, we connect the trailer to it and go.
Oh my gosh.
And then when you're getting ready to board, you release your lock, and then you push down your handlebars, and then relock it, power it off, just zip it up, and then you put your pegs in. I usually just when I'm getting off, I click the pegs right off, and then
Yeah. What does it look like? So what is it? Do you ever have to wheel it down?
You can either push it or you can pull it.
Or you pull
When
it.
when I board, when I'm on the plane, I always go and I wheel it this way because it goes right through the aisle super easy.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah,
And then
it's
just
narrow.
pop it up.
And then
Boom. And you got handles on the front and the back. So
Okay.
you just go and you put it in the overhead.
Put it in the overhead.
Yeah.
And then
You just have to pull your battery out before you get on the plane.
Yeah, before you board the plane, when you go to
Okay.
security, you put it with your electronics, put it back in, ride to the plane. Before you board, so it's FAA, TSA regulations, you pop out your battery. It just cannot be connected to the equipment.
Okay.
I could stow it inside. I usually just throw it in the backpack.
Okay.
You do have a charging port on here too, in case you want to. I mean, the battery is a little beast, right? So you can
Okay.
charge your phone like 6 times. So you can just power it up and
Oh
use
my
this
gosh.
as a, just your power pack.
Now, if I was just like, we had like a huge layover and I wanted to explore the airport, how long
Oh,
does the battery last?
so
like
you-
just driving time.
You'll go
driving
like a
time.
solid 5 miles on it.
5 miles.
And then whenever we stop for coffee or whatever, you just plug it in. You'll get like an 80% charge in 40 minutes. So it's pretty.
So I
pretty
can even
quick.
if I'm at the airport, because sometimes we do international flights with our
Sure.
kids, right? And so it's just you get these layovers that could be 6-8 hours, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so.
Well, it gives you amusement in between the flights.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, we got to go check out the
explore.
other end, see what the food is over on the other end.
And you do have to expect people are going to ask you if they can ride it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we end up doing a lot of demos in the airport.
Yeah.
You just meet so many random people. We've had pilots on it. We've had flight
Oh
attendants
my
on
gosh.
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Like,
We've
hey,
had
can I try
security
that?
on it. Off camera.
So, off camera, don't film me, guys. I'll get in trouble. Okay. So literally, even 40 minutes, it's fully charged.
It's
up to
80%.
80%.
And so even if you drain the battery, I don't know.
I mean, 5 miles in an airport is a lot. I mean,
is a lot.
Yeah.
it's,
Okay.
You got to talk to your
It'd be
travel
rare
agent
to-
if you're
to
doing
run
more
that
than 5
battery
miles
down.
on your flight back.
Well, I'm not. I'm just saying if I'm doing loops
Yeah.
around the airport, you know what I mean?
And that's on hard surface. If you ride it on carpet, you'll get resistance and you'll drop
Yeah.
your battery life.
It's like
Okay.
running
But
in
for
sand.
regular hard surface, 5 miles not an
Okay.
issue.
5 miles.
We had over the summer, a buddy of mine's mom took all the grandkids to Great America. My buddy Brett. And anyway, so Carol, we had this and we gave her an extra battery. And she zipped around the theme park with the kids all day long. Kids are wiped out by the end of the day, and she used to go cruising Graham. So that's in that case she had 2 batteries, and then when she wasn't using one, whatever, or when
She
they
would
stopped for
charge
lunch, you just plug in and charge.
Oh my gosh. Is there a separate charger that you? Or...
Yeah, it's just like a laptop charger.
Okay.
So
Do you leave it in here?
You can do either.
You can do either.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same as a laptop block.
Okay.
So you have a
Okay.
charge
Throw it in.
port on the battery, and you
you
can
can
quick
charge
charge
direct.
it back there. Or if you want to run the charge through the console, it has the same port up here, so you can either charge it through the console or you can charge the battery direct. Your
Okay.
choice.
Cool.
We usually prefer to do the battery direct. It's a
Because
quicker charge.
It's faster since you're not going through the
There's
controller
less
and everything.
resistance and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Okay. Grandma. Grandma rides this. How old's Grandma?
Carol, Brett's mom, is 74.
Yeah, I mean, our dad passed away when he was 81, and he drove it right up to. They literally had gone to Florida 2 weeks before, and Kevin had made a pet carrier for my parents
They had
that
a
clipped
couple
into the
dogs.
front of the bag. So it basically had 360 spinners on it. It clipped to the front strap on the bag. It had a
little
mesh,
dog carrier
mesh
mesh.
top.
Open the top.
Open it up. The dogs' heads are sticking out the top, and Dad's cruising through
Like
the
out the
airport with his
window.
pet carrier.
His mom's like, I don't think your father can take the Modobag because we have the dogs. How are we going to manage that and riding? So we went to the shop
We'll get
and
to work.
We'll
get
Pet
Amazon ordered
carrier.
the pet carrier, wheeled it up, and then I got video of testing it in the kitchen in the house, the kitchen dining room. Dad zipping around and just no
Oh
problem
my
at all
gosh.
with the dog's head out.
Is that your next product or? No?
It's one of them. The next one that we're
okay,
really,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to reveal it.
the next one that we're really
So-
working on is a 17-inch, which is for people. A lot of people that use these have light mobility issues as well.
Yes.
We
And,
go to ADA height. ADA height is 17 to 19 inches,
Okay.
so we're going to basically take the bag from 14 to 17 inches. So
Okay.
it's ADA compliant.
So somebody like my parents, because my dad's about to turn 80.
Yeah.
My mom
It's just
is
easier.
79.
You don't have to get down as far
it's the
with
height
your
of the
knees.
mode.
Keeps
So-
your knees more planed. as opposed to
muscle memory. Everybody's doing that. You know, you can sit down on the toilet. You can be able to sit down on this. You know, so you're no longer doing that deep bend. It could be.
So these are 14, and an ADA toilet is at 17.
Yeah.
So it's just.
So we're going to the ADA height,
and
which is the minimum requirement.
It's it doesn't meet the airline regulations for carry-on size luggage, but what it does is it eliminates another person who's got to put somebody in a wheelchair and run them back and forth, or a large 3-wheeler.
Yeah.
So, right.
Yeah, like the airport security guys are like buzzing around, me, you know what I mean?
Right,
and then finding the guy and I could walk, but this would be nice.
Yeah.
But then you don't even have to worry about that. You just hop on your
and
own ride.
it's time, it's reliance on somebody else. This gives them, I mean, if I can get you from the front of the airport and back without that wheelchair, you can do it on your own reconnaissance. Your quality of life, because it's back in your control. Not relying on somebody
just
else.
Just having the independence, you're like 007 instead of like I'm on the way to God's waiting room.
That's awesome. And then has Grandma ever taken a little tip on taking a turn?
Grandma had a dad did.
My dad.
My dad would be ripping down the street though. Like he's got it outside the hardware store on the sidewalk down like the ramp.
He would take it into the street and just
drive down the street.
Up and down the street.
So with that bigger one not being able to check it, could you check it at the gate though?
Oh no,
like a stroller or a wheelchair.
It still fits in the overhead.
Oh,
is the thing. So I mean, it will depend on the individual airline or whoever's working it. I guess. But having that, it still fits right in as a carry-on piece of luggage, and it doesn't require any extra personnel from the airport. The person still keeps their independence and their dignity. I mean, we got a lot of feedback from people that have used it and been like, this is it, because they don't feel.
Well, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
They're not intimidated to travel anymore. They're like,
it enhances the experience.
Grandma and Grandpa will jump on Modobags, cruise through the airport, and not worry about all that travel and commuting.
And there's some people that won't travel because of that. But if this can take that obstacle out of the way, all of a sudden it's a different situation, because now they've got the ability to travel independently.
We have one lady. She's great. She's down in Florida, Giselle, and she'll be at Home Depot. She'll be zipping through Walmart. She shoots me videos all the time. She does her shopping with it. She's got her 2 little grandkids with her, and she's got a couple Modobags, and they're right there. The kids are wearing their Home Depot aprons, and the 3 of them are cruising through the Home Depot or wherever else.
That's so funny. Yeah, you could probably just go to the grocery store in one, right? If it's within 2.5 miles.
We did
a demo. Take a bag or 2 in there.
Yeah, we did a demo at Woodfield Mall in Chicago, one of the larger malls there, and just had a blast with it. I mean, it's a shopping mall. Again, for somebody who has a light disability, go shop and do your thing, man. Get around. Like, it's not just for the airport, although it's built for the airport.
Yeah. What are other uses? Like, do people use it and then send you pictures and feedback and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like, of all their different uses?
Our videographers in Venice Beach, Tommy Casey, guy's a beast. Anyways, we finished up shooting, a bunch of product photos, and Ralphie, his assistant, Tommy, myself, there were a few of us. We just got on Modobags, and then we cruised down to Venice.
Boardwalk.
We ran the ocean front to the Ferris wheel. We went bar hopping. Had a blast. We drove them everywhere. I mean, it's not what we recommend, but we've got some really fun stories with stuff that we've done with these. We jumped it out of an airplane for just a promo video.
Like with a parachute on?
With a parachute on.
You did personally?
No, I didn't.
The jump master strapped between his legs, he landed it on the runway.
Nice. And then he just took off. Like, no big deal. Did he unstrap his
back to the hangar?
Parachute.
Parachute dragging behind.
For the James Bond video, right?
Oh my gosh! But the parachute was still on him.
He parachuted with the bag, like yeah. So.
Oh my gosh! Well, that's so cool, man. I'm trying to think. What other questions? What else you guys got to tell me that I haven't asked? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
there's different markets for us besides that. Just for travel. The thing with the bag is it's such an attention draw that from a corporate standpoint for branding, if we were to take and put a company name on it, for example, which we've done, they've got a rolling billboard through the airport because the number of eyes that are on those bags.
So like corporate companies should give it to their employees hey, you've been with us for 10 years.
Advertising
expense. You know what I mean?
And then great year-end gift.
Up in the air 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
Because you're a rolling billboard through the airport.
Yeah. So we have a guy in.
Are some people? Sorry.
Oh no, you go.
Do some people think they're too good? I don't like the attention.
Oh, sometimes people will be like, no, that's not for me, you know. But then they get on it, and then they write it, and then they come back with a smile and be like, okay, I don't care.
Oh man, that's awesome.
We have one guy who does the service of the lottery machines at the Denver airport. And anyway, so Avi, we get a lot of feedback from him because he's probably got the most miles, even more than my partner and I, on a Modobag ever.
He bought one.
Oh yeah, 5 or 6 days a week. He has a toolbox that he sets on top of it, and he has all his lottery refills and stuff inside. And he rides from the parking lot. Then he does his entire route through the whole airport servicing the lottery machines. And he does this like 5 or 6 days a week. We figure he's got about 40 or 50,000 miles on his bag.
Oh my gosh!
But we had a lot of feedback from him, and he came up with that as a use.
Oh my gosh! Okay,
it's pretty neat.
So how much can one expect to pay for something like this, like retail? Because
the retail's $14.95.
$14.95.
We're working hard with our next model and everything else. We really want to get it down to a much more consumer-friendly price point at like $9.95.
Okay.
Because you can pay that for a piece of high-end luggage right now that doesn't do anything but that you lug around.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be a kind of a magic number for as a barrier into the market for some people.
But it sounds like. Yeah, because it's funny when you look at it in a magazine, you're like, oh, that would be great, but I wouldn't use it that much. But, dude, yeah, you can get your use out of it. And you guys got that Denver lottery guy saying this thing will last a long time, 40 to 50,000 miles.
We tested hard. We replaced one, we gave him a new set of wheels. One of his front ones chunked on a piece of gravel in the parking lot or something.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's been easy.
Did he have to write into is there a warranty or something on the wheels?
We're doing a standard 2-year warranty on it, but basically, as long as we don't get the bag back from the guy who's doing X Games or something, where he just completely did something he wasn't.
He's like,
to. We've just been servicing them. That you cover the freight, send it to us, pay the freight back, and we've been putting you right back to rebuild shape.
Wow.
Shape.
It shouldn't be in skateboard parks.
It should be, yeah.
Although we did.
You've got it.
Yeah.
So on your website, do you guys have all these cool videos of different?
Oh, ton of videos.
Okay,
a lot
I can't
of
wait to
videos,
go
but
check
not
it
so
out.
much of this stuff. We have one that goes 40, 45 miles an hour, and we got a video ripping down Milwaukee Avenue in Chicago, and it's great. It looks insane, and it's pulling a 50-pound actually luggage roller behind it. That's a toolbox. We were testing it for this mechanic that works on MRIs and flies all over. Anyways, but it doesn't stop, and that's just us playing around.
Wow.
So 5 miles an hour indoor, 8 miles an hour on your outdoor button, which is again, it's like a winning pace for a marathon.
Okay.
Get your gait 3 times faster. But yeah, some of the stuff we've experimented is pretty insane.
What speed was mine set on over here? Because I had trouble keeping up with you guys.
Well,
we put some zip, we got some tweaked.
Yeah, you guys have tweaked your own, and I felt like I couldn't keep up. We
have a little faster controller in ours.
So
you're probably 8. We were probably at 12.
Okay, all right. And so, if somebody's smart, I don't know. Maybe this isn't a good question.
They can't. No,
they
they
can't.
It's a different controller that we put in our personal bags. Than we put in our bags for
the standard guys
for the
can do whatever they want. But
yes.
Okay.
So there might be somebody out there, but it's not it's not a little adjustment.
It's not an easy hack. Switch,
Okay.
Low to high, no.
Okay. Well, cool. And then besides this, you guys, how old are you guys right now? I'm 46. I don't know.
61.
61.
58.
Okay.
2 weeks ago.
58.
Yeah,
so
it even sounds weird saying it.
Yeah, I know, right? Because you guys are definitely still kids, like I am,
still
right?
have fun.
So we still have fun, right? We don't grow up. But what lessons, maybe just in life, what would you share? Because it seems like life's short, right? I feel like I was just in high school, and I'm like, dang, that was
so quick.
Yeah. So
follow your passions.
Yeah.
And I know it's become almost like an overused phrase, but
yeah.
Don't be afraid to fail with it. I'm always afraid to fail. I don't ever plan on failing. But if I did, it's like, screw it, well, I'm going to do the next thing now.
Yeah.
You don't get the reward without the risk, you know? And my dad always, when he brought us up, it's like, just do it right the first time. You know,
Yeah.
Okay.
don't cut the corners. Don't try to do it on the cheap. If you're going to do it, just do it right.
Yeah.
In the long run, it more than pays for itself.
Yeah, and he was one of our sponsors, our biggest supporters. He took this thing everywhere. He, sent me back pictures, videos from Dubai. He's like, I'm cruising through the mall in Dubai. He goes, I had to go by 4 times. I put 10 people on it. He's on a cruise ship. And I get a message at Modobag. Oh, I met Dan, and blah 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 blah. And I'd like to order. And
He would get to the airport 2 hours early just so he
ride-
could
just so he could ride
around
around.
and say, "There, my son's back."
Yeah. My son's invented this.
yeah, so he
On a cruise ship, they let him
Oh
ride
my
around?
God, yeah.
Yeah,
My
Oh.
son Corey, we do a lot of cruises, and
Okay.
we're on a Royal line, and Corey I would call it the grandma tours. He would take a pair of bags up to the upper deck every day, and he would get the grandmas. He would get on his bag, and he would say, "Come on, get on," and he would give tours around the deck of the ship. But by the time we got, there was 4,000 people on that ship. Everybody knew what a Modobag was by the end of the trip,
yeah.
because we had
Yeah.
them up top every day, and people would just enjoy getting on. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is so
Yeah.
cool.
and then pictures and videos and sending stuff to their family and look.
It
at me.
self-advertises. Like,
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just have to drive it here, and
Yes.
then everybody's like, "Can I ride it, please?" And you're like, "Yeah."
Super viral. We
Yeah.
we were at CES a few years ago, and we meet so many people. But there's Jack Nicklaus's grandson, right?
Yeah.
We ended up, we put them on the bags. The next thing you know, we're hanging out all night. They're like, "Come on, we have bottle service at this club," and it was Jack Nicklaus.
The golfer
The
or
golfer.
Jack Nicholas, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I was
just
like,
so many cool people. Like it was just,
Wow.
that we
It puts us in
across.
situations we normally wouldn't be in.
Yeah.
We've done a ton of TV shows.
Really.
We've got a bunch of celebrities that have
Kaylee
bags.
Cuoco, sweetheart, love her to death. She's so
Okay.
awesome. She bought 172 Motobags, and this is when we were just starting out.
What?
So it was awesome. And then it was like, man, now we gotta get all these suckers together, right?
Oh my God.
So
Because
she
they were
went-
they were finishing season
Season
10.
10
They
on
had
The
no
Big Bang
contract
Theory.
for 11, so they think this is it. We're going to be ending the show. So
She bought
they
these as
invited
wrap
us
gifts,
out.
yeah.
Season 10, last day filming, last episode. We had breakfast and lunch with the crew. Got to watch them film, and we brought
We
a
bought
dozen
like
bags
a dozen
with
demo
us.
bags.
Oh my
Because we
gosh.
couldn't fill the order yet. We were in production,
Like,
And everybody got that wanted to got to try the bags out on set at Warner Brothers, and then
So we're
Wow.
zipping around the
then
set
we
of
shipped
Warner-
the bags
so
to them
surreal.
after.
that's awesome. Where are these made then? By
We're
the
still
way,
we're hybrid. So all our injection molds and stuff currently are made here,
Okay.
and then a lot of our components for like the ball bearing stuff, we're using the AEBC9 quality ball bearing. It's found in the skateboard industry. Most of those bike type parts come out of Taiwan.
Okay.
We have our covers made in Vietnam because it's really good quality
Okay.
company that we're dealing with.
Okay.
And then we also have the rest of like the frames and everything else we were making them here, but now we're making them overseas.
Okay.
You know,
And the
China.
batteries are in China.
The
Okay.
battery technology actually comes from China,
China.
and it's patented. And
Wow.
the guy who makes our batteries, Mr. Gu, he was making battery machines, but he's just a genius, and he's the one
Wow.
who came up with this technology, where again, you don't get thermal runaway.
Wow.
You can't blow it up. You can pierce it. It shorts itself out. It keeps itself cool. Anyways, yeah. So we've been all over getting parts and everything from everywhere. We are looking to do a contract manufacturer that will be outside the U.S. So most likely China.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
anyways, just to get scale and volume, we've been building them. It's literally the story of like the two guys in the garage, because
Yeah.
Boyd and I started out, and we're still in like a 2,400 square foot garage right now.
Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh, that's cool. Well, you guys, thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.
you're welcome, man.
appreciate
Pleasure.
it. And we're gonna get on this and race around it a little bit, and get that on film too.
Very
Can't wait.
cool.
Okay, thank you.
All
Appreciate
right,
it.
Cheers.